Hi everyone, it's me Cheryl. I hope you're all alright. I was going to do a video 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2nd of June. But stuff in a bit raw, so I didn't. Where am I? Projects, okay. I'll update you on all the projects before I tell you about stuff. Okay, the first I'm going to grab is actually the sock I'm working on. And I've got so far down the foot. Now that heel is the Sweet Tomato heel by Cath Body, and it's really good heel. Basically you divide it into 3 equal parts, so you have the front of the foot. Is that right? Yeah, that'll be the front, because you might have a pattern there, and the 2 equal sides, the front and the back. Although I worked on DPNs, I had to distribute the stitches. I mean, it was just me, I could use stitch markers, but I chose not to. So what I did was basically I'm going to draw a picture. A DPN supporting the front stitches, a DPN supporting the little inch that you leave at the back of the heel, and 2 DPNs along the sides where you're doing all the heel work. So basically it looked like that. Oh, it's the postman. Excuse me a moment, I feel like a right tip now. I'm back. What was I saying? I'll show you a picture. So that's how I ended up working on the needles, but these 2 sides ended up feeling quite tight, because there was obviously more stitches on these 2 than there was there. So I ended up ordering for the next sock some lace needles, because you can't have interchangeable needles less than, is it 3mm? I haven't seen any less than 3mm, and I'm using 2.5 of that. So I thought I'd get some lace ones for the next time. I will have the front part of the sock on my regular 9-inch needle just dangling there. I might put an elastic band around the tips, and the big lace needle you working on here, but I'll use stitch markers, and I can just go back and forth. That's what we've decided to do, and I think that'll be fine. I can't believe, excuse me, this is a magazine I did subscribe to last year. And I didn't renew, and they can't charge me anything because I actually paid by PayPal, I think it was. So they can't take anything off me, and I'm still getting it, and I'm sure I've had more than 10 issues, and that's all I ordered, 10 issues. That one. And I was called about a couple of months ago saying, do you want to resubscribe? And I said, no thank you, I'm happy to just stop, and they're still sending me it. Maybe they think I'm going to change my mind. No, I've decided to stick for the moment with Simply Crochet. I'll see what happens after that. The reason why I became frustrated with that one is I saw so many lovely projects, and I thought, oh, it's knitting. I can knit, but I want to crochet. And you can't make anything that size in crochet with the same amount of yarn they give you for something that's knit. So, yeah, that's why the majority of nice projects that I would like to do are knitted. Anyway, moving on now. This top, I decided to make it longer. But there's some extra stitch markers in there, I've just put them in. And I've modelled it off this top here, because basically there's 2 rectangles, you go straight on and you join for the shoulders, and that will irritate me. I want something with a little bit more of a scoop, maybe a little bit lower than this, just a tiny bit. So I'm modelling it off this top here, and I need to go back again because I need to measure how long it is from here to where it joins the other one. And then I'll just do it a little bit longer. So that's what these stitch markers are for. This is where the scoop will start going up, and this is where the outside here. And it's the same on the other side. So that's the stage I'm at. And I've got another side to make. It won't be exactly the same because it'll be a little bit more levelled off at the back, but I'm just going to model it off this top like I said. So that's coming on well. What else? Move that out of the way. 10 stitch blanket is coming on wonderfully. This is my 5th skein, it's a bit of a squidgy mess. I deliberately left the tails long on skein 4 at the beginning and the end so I could measure how long it took. And using that measurement, I was able to estimate how long this blanket's going to be. So this corner is going to be done, and I'm going to work right the way up until I reach this one, but I'm not actually going to do a corner in here. I've got enough yarn possibly to actually take it halfway, but you can't stop a blanket halfway, it will look odd. So there, stop there. And I think I might possibly have enough yarn to maybe do reverse single crochet or something, because the holes are nice for it, so I'll do that. I'm really coming on with that. I'm really happy with that progress. I also made a shawl with that yarn I got from the mill. And the pattern is called, let me find it. I don't know how it's pronounced, I don't speak Swedish. Cracker shawl in linear. Well, I didn't use linear. So that's that one. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I used the yarn I got from the mill. If you remember my last video, I was talking about the mill. And I ran out of yarn, even though the mill yarn was longer, a meterage than the yarn in this pattern. I ran out, and I think it was because the pattern did say, you know, that these are all the mesh stitches. It did say a slip stitch into the mesh stitch, but what I was getting was a strip of, I must have done about 8 rows, and it was just a strip like that. And it reminded me of, you know, that ruffle yarn, you get it and you have to open it out to work in the top row. It was doing that, and I thought, I don't like that. So I was just going along, I thought, I'll try single crochet, did a couple of them, try half double crochet and tried a double crochet, just to see if it would open it out a bit more, and I thought, half double crochet. So I frogged it back to the beginning, started a half double crochet, and it did open it out very nicely, and then I ran out of yarn. So I edged it instead, because that's what I needed to do, in the other yarn of the same type but different colour. So you might be able to see there's a different colour there. And this time I did actually slip stitch into the mesh, but you can see what it's doing. It's closing up. And I think that's the nature of the yarn. But yeah, you can see it's a different colour. But anyway, I wore it. It was a very quick random project because I didn't know what the weather was going to be like when I was going to wear this dress, a particular black dress, and I didn't know what the weather was going to be like. And just in case it was a bit horrible, I didn't have a jacket. That wasn't too dressy. So basically I just put it over to the side here like this and fastened it there like that over the top of my dress. Some of you may know, on the 29th of March my dad died. It wasn't unexpected, but it was still very shocking nonetheless. So I went to his funeral. I was there last week. The funeral was Wednesday. It was quite an emotional day because, like, you thought I'd cried my tears, you know, and then on the day saw the flowers on the side of the hearse saying Grandad, and that was it. It was a very emotional day. I saw my dad on the Monday. My brother took my mum and I to see him at the funeral home, which is, I've never seen person before. It's like, it was my dad, and he looked so different. He wasn't there, you know what I mean? He was there, but he wasn't. And then on Tuesday afternoon, the funeral directors brought him home for the night. He had the lid off. And my mum said he stayed in the living room because he spent far too long in the front room. That's why he was nursed. So we just basically sat with Dad, and you just kind of got used to it. Dad had tea. Dad was there. But they had to organise it in such a way, because the room was quite small. We thought we was going to be at an angle on the main footpath between the hall door and the kitchen door. But they did it instead, so his feet were actually over the chair where he regularly sat anyway. And his head was just, it just stopped at the where you would pass him to go into the kitchen, and it was fine. My youngest brother, he stayed overnight because he wanted to be with Dad overnight, and he stayed in that room with him. So that was really nice. It was quite an emotional time though. But I did get to play outside in the back garden with my brothers. Can you believe that? I'm 44 now, and I was playing outside in the back garden with my brothers because my youngest brother brought the BB gun round, and we were shooting a carrot. So I might put the clip at the end of this because it was funny. I was like, I couldn't believe it. He said, "Sis, you've done a strip all the way up," because it was like on rapid fire. And I'd sliced the carrot like that. It was quite fun. I would like to extend a big thank you to Terry Tinsel. He gifted me a pattern. I need to, I've downloaded it, but I need to print it out because I printed out the original. It's been an update. I don't know what the update is though. It's an Erin pattern. Erin Donahue, she made it. It's called Perk Me Up, and it's a cowl. I'm not sure if you can see that picture very well. It's quite a dark picture, but it looks very nice. And it's such an easy pattern from what I can see. And so I'm looking forward to making that. Thank you, Terry. And I don't know if you realise, Terry, but that came at a time when, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. I know we're Facebook friends, but like, it came on my birthday, 1st of June. So I didn't know whether it was a birthday present, but when I thanked you for it on your Facebook, that's when, I don't know whether you became aware then it was my birthday, because then he wished me happy birthday. And then, but it actually came when I was feeling pretty raw from my dad, because that was the 29th of March. And if he follows me on Instagram, he may have known that, because I did put a picture of Dad on there. And then the pattern is called Perk Me Up. So I just, when I got it, I was so grateful. Thank you, Terry. That was such, the timing was amazing. So I don't know if you knew about any of those events, my dad and my birthday, and just how I was feeling at the time, because my birthday came and it didn't feel like a birthday, you know what I mean? It was kind of odd, but that was fine. I hadn't planned anything, so... my youngest son was going to come up to the funeral with me, and my husband can take some time off work to look after CJ, because he still needs it to and from college and do the morning and evening routines with him. But it didn't end up like that. Starting the weekend of the mill, when we went to the mill, let me have a look at the calendar, get right in my head then. That was the 16th, the weekend in the 16th of May. I was at the mill and I started to feel my throat was swollen. And then on the Monday and the Tuesday I was like full of cold, sneezing and stuff. And then Monday I was just feeling, Sunday and Monday, sorry. The Tuesday and Wednesday I felt fine. Thursday and Friday I was feeling hot one minute, cold the next, and hot and cold at the same time, like from neck downwards, really cold, shivering. Here, cheeks, ears, forehead, hot. So that was on the Thursday and Friday, but at the same time my husband was suffering from a cold. Not the hot and cold, but definitely the sneezes and the runny nose. But also, while it was happening, I didn't realise till Saturday the 23rd, he kind of trapped a nerve in his hip again. He's done it 3 years ago, and he was like hobbling around in agony, drugged up to the eyeballs with painkillers and anti-inflammatories, and he could barely move. And then, so he was suffering, and then he took the following week off work because of his hip. And then we got the phone call on the 29th about Dad, and it was like, oh, because he'd already said when Dad was admitted to hospital in the March and he came out in the April, you know, just let me know, I'll take as much time off work as you need, and my younger son was going to come up with me. Well, there was no way my husband was in a physical fit state to look after CJ while I went to my dad's funeral, and it was like, what are we going to do? There's no one else, and he doesn't go into respite anymore because he gets bored. So my younger son, who was going to come with me, he stayed home and he looked after CJ, my 18-year-old. He looked after CJ and he did amazing. It's not his job to look after his brother, but he did, and he was lovely. Anyway, he's gone up this week now. So he needs a well-earned break after looking after CJ for the whole week. It's just such bad timing for everything. It's luckily it wasn't a few weeks down the line when my husband still would have been in agony, because it took about 2.5 months last time for him to get well enough from his hip. But in a few more weeks my son is going to the States. Oh gosh. Anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I thought it was going to be okay. I'm going to wrap this up now, so I don't know if I'm going to see you next week or what. It just depends what projects I manage to get done. Anyway, thanks again, Terry. I really, really appreciate that lovely pattern you gifted me. The camera keeps telling me to smile. Get stuffed. I'm thinking, what's that saying? It says smile. Oh, that's a crochet hook. I'm going. Right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.